Hello and welcome back to another episode of Plants and Ladders. This is part 2 of how to mix your hydroponic growing mixture so that your plants will thrive. Now, as you recall in our last video, we talked about the 3 blends that you would need to purchase in order to be successful with this system. The first one again was, just as a recap, for 1838, which is the MasterBlend. That's the tomato and vegetable formula. Then you have the Power Grow Epson salt, which is a magnesium sulfate. And last but not least is your calcium nitrate, 15500. Now, you'll need 3 containers, and you can probably get those from like your potato salad containers, just small containers. And then also a gallon container, maybe a gallon of water that is empty, obviously. And you'll be using that to mix all 3 of these minerals together. And then you'll pour it into your gallon container to pour into your cartons that you're using for your microgreens. Now, I have a 10-ounce measuring cup right here. I have the 10 ounces of water. And if you were to add it all together, you're looking at about 30 ounces. That's 10 ounces in each one of those containers. You'll also need your measuring spoons, a half a teaspoon, 1/4 teaspoon, and last but not least, your half teaspoon once again. And then I got this little extra one here that I use to just mix everything together because we're going to do these individually, okay? All right, I'm going to put the camera down just so that you can see and follow along if you have these ingredients in front of you. Let me back this up a little bit so you can see. Again, each one of these containers has 10 ounces of water. I'm going to go ahead and fill up the last one here. 10 ounces of water, and this is cold water, by the way. And then we want to start with our first one, which is our MasterBlend. Now, the MasterBlend comes in a almost like a pouch when they send it to you when you make that order. I transplanted the ingredients into these big containers that I had just so I could tuck them away more conveniently. So I'm going to go with 10 ounces here. Oh, I'm sorry, my 1/4 teaspoon of MasterBlend. Now, this is for the purpose of mixing 1 gallon of nutrients, okay? 1 gallon. And we're going to put this within the first one. And you'll notice that it turns a nice yellow. Stir it all together. You want to blend that so it all dissolves. Thoroughly. And that's a half a teaspoon. And then we want 1/4 teaspoon of our Epsom salt. And mix that all together. I know it's all going to mix together eventually, but I don't like to use the same spoon for each one to prematurely cross-contaminate these minerals. So I just use the same spoon that I'm using to scoop out because I'm not going to double dip back into the container of minerals. And last but not least, the calcium nitrate. Which is a half teaspoon calcium nitrate. And we'll mix all that together. Once we get all these dissolved, we're going to pour them individually into the gallon container. All right, I believe that's going to do it for that one. Put this back here. Put the lid back on these jars so they don't get moisture in them. I imagine that would be a big problem if moisture was to seep into your dry minerals. Push these back so that we can make room for the gallon container. And as you can see, all three are thoroughly mixed together now. Everything's dissolved. Okay? All right. So the last step in this is to just bring it together inside of the gallon container. So I'll move this so you can see. And nothing fancy about this. Just going to reach over here and pour this first one in here. And put that to the side, and then we'll pour in the Epsom salt. As you can see, this isn't difficult at all. Anybody can do this. I will say that I will wash out these containers later and to reuse them for the next batch. Okay, and that's going to be it. So we have put the ingredients together. We'll put the lid back on, give it a good shake. And that's what you're going to use to supply nutrients to your plants. So the seedlings that we have growing, the strawberries, the lemon trees, the mango, the pineapple tree. Now the pineapple tree is kind of, it's already in full bloom. And what I mean by that is I've been growing that pineapple tree for about a year. So we may not be at the stage where we can put that one into a hydroponic growing mechanism. Okay, so we would have to just let that one grow on out to see how it does when the summer rolls around, and if it bears any fruit in the next 3 to 4 years, because that's as long as it takes for those plants to get to that point. Now, luckily those strawberries and lemon trees don't take that long. So I will once again invite you to join me on this journey of developing physically, mentally, and spiritually. This is one of my interests that I've had for a long time, which is growing fruits and vegetables for my family. And what I would like to do is pass this information on to you. And hopefully this will be something that you could utilize when the times get hard and you don't have to depend on your grocery store. Okay? Don't depend on your grocery store, because you never know when you might run into another one of those pandemics and we're not able to get to it. So this is the alternative. Thank you once again for viewing this channel. Please send your support and love. Leave comments below this video and tune in to our next episode of Plants and Ladders. Have a great day and keep on growing.